All right, guys. Today we are going to be focusing on the content of chapters 1 through 5 in To Kill a Mockingbird. And we're going to focus on some of the emerging themes that we'll be talking about throughout the book. So we're going to start by reviewing a little bit what we've learned so far and kind of just checking in on our virtual learning. I really appreciated your guys' wacky comments in yesterday's daily attendance. We learned a lot of strange things about all of you, which is not surprising because you guys are very weird people. But it brought a lot of warmth to my heart, made me chuckle quite a bit. So keep up the fun conversation, keep up the energy, and make sure you're doing your review questions, all that kind of stuff. Okay. All right, let's move on and start with some content from To Kill a Mockingbird. Let's begin with chapter 1 and 2. Okay, so you guys answered some review questions about this stuff in yesterday's class. So let's kind of go through those review questions a little bit and learn a little bit about the city of Maycomb and kind of where we stand with Scout and what she knows. So, what is the city of Maycomb like? If I were to ask you, possibly on a test question, something like, what are all characteristics of the city of Maycomb, it'd be helpful if you guys knew that. So let's maybe take out our notebook, write down chapters 1 and 2 notes. All right. So what is the city of Maycomb like? Well, first of all, it is in the south. Okay, it's in the south. It's in Alabama, right? So it's deep in the heart of Alabama, in the south of Alabama. And it is an old town. It is dusty. It is incredibly hot in the summers. And the most important part is this town definitely has its stereotypes. Okay, and one of those stereotypes is it is racist. Pretty darn racist. Okay, there's definitely like an old regime that lives there of people who are stuck in their ways, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody in the town is stuck in their ways, but there are quite a few people in the town who are racist, and Scout doesn't necessarily know this yet. She's 6 years old, and she's about to go to school where she'll interact with many more people in the town of Maycomb. Okay, so what is the city of Maycomb like? It's old, it's dusty, it's hot. It is pretty stagnant. There's not a lot of movement around, okay? There's not like a bunch of industry or chaos or motion. It's not a bustling city at all, right? Scout sees this city as just the way life is, okay? I mean, ask any 6-year-old about life and what they know about life. It basically is confined to their house and their neighborhood, right? The more people we go out in the world to interact with, the more we learn about the world, okay? But she just thinks that Maycomb is the way life is, if that makes sense. That's her own unique little bubble, and more specifically, her little neighborhood is her bubble. And she doesn't have many interaction with other people in her neighborhood. Okay, she's got good influences in her house. Atticus, her dad, we're going to learn, is a great moral compass, and Calpurnia is pretty solid as well. So Scout thinks Maycomb is pretty great, just the way things are. So she goes to her first day of school, you see in chapter 2, with quite a few stereotypes of the way life works. Okay, and one of those reputations is the Cunningham family. So Scout goes to school on the first day, and there's a new teacher at the school. She's not from Maycomb. She is from up north. Okay, so she's an outsider. And she does not know the reputation of a lot of the students and families around town. So, at lunchtime, the students are about to eat, and it turns out that Walter Cunningham does not have money to eat. Okay, he doesn't have any food. And Miss Caroline Fisher, the new teacher, she says, "Oh, Walter, I'll give you some money. You can just pay me back later." And Walter refuses. He refuses, okay? The reason he refuses is because he cannot pay back the teacher. And everybody in the class knows this, right? That's the reason Walter's refusing, because Cunninghams, right? They're unable to pay back their debts because they're poor, right? But also they don't want to make any promises that they can't keep, okay? And Scout kind of tells some stories about the Cunninghams, how they'll keep their promises, right? But they are financially kind of unstable and unable to pay people back with money. So Scout actually gets punished for standing up for Walter, for pointing this out. Ms. Caroline Fisher, the teacher, she is unaware of all the stereotypes of the city. Okay, so she punishes Scout for this, and Scout feels very gypped. She feels like she's been treated unfairly because she is simply pointing out the common stereotypes of the town. So that's chapters 1 and 2. Let's move on to chapters 3 and 4, or 2 and 3.